Earlier this week in Minecraft Java, Happy Gas Snapshot. You had to be there, stuff was a movie. Now this snapshot was a gigantumongous hunkus chunkus of a bunch of different features inside of it. It was a large snapshot, and there's even more to it. Now until I add something else new to this update, the star of the show over the past couple of weeks has definitely been the Happy Gas. For a chunky majority of the snapshot video this week, we took a look at this thing, but there's actually a lot to it. Like, if we take a look at the changelog here and zoom out a little bit, about this much of the changelog is all about the Happy Gas, and then the harness stuff too, so there's even more. The Happy Gas is easily one of the most advanced mobs Minecraft has had in a long time, like way more so than the Breeze the Armadillo. I'm working on cooking up a little bit of a ghast mini-series, if you will, so stay tuned for that. But with that being said, here's a little bit more. Minecraft Happy Gas, the Gasling. You want to summon one on Java and pop it in? This is the command. If we go ahead and run that command, this thing has now been freshly birthed into the world. Well, once it's done that, sort of like it is on Bedrock Edition, a home point has been declared. Now, this home point is going to be based off of a couple of different things. So thing number one, where this thing was birthed and actually grew up inside of your world. The other thing that could set a home point is a player interacting with a Gasling. Now, this little guy, the Gasling, once it is born inside of your world, it has 20 minutes of being a small child. While it is that, it will idle around and sort of follow players and nearby peaceful mobs. The game rule for speeding up the growth of this thing definitely still doesn't work like it's meant to, but you could use the debug stick to skip a couple of phases of this thing's growth, set it to this happy phase, and give it a little bit of time. Now the Happy Gas, we're gonna have to be quick and cautious here, but check this out. When I get above this thing, even in creative mode, the Happy Gas without a saddle on it will actually stand still. So here we go again. Check this out. As soon as I'm flying and I move close enough to its head, it will actually freeze and lock into a grid. Meaning the direction that this thing faces when it's standing still will always align to a cardinal direction. This one's a little tricky to fall off, but you can fall and break your fall on a Happy Gas too. Wait a second, can we do it? Oh my god. I can do it. Yeah, I don't know, I just think it's quite interesting that you don't actually even need a saddle for the Happy Gas to know that you're above it, and it'll just stand still for you. Last things last for the Happy Gas today, these things will idle and wander around a little bit, but not too much. Right here, the Happy Gas will idle around within 64 blocks from its home position, so the spot that it grew up or the player last interacted with it in a similar way that the Gasling does. But if you put a harness on the Happy Gas, it'll idle and wander a little bit less far. Hey, wait, just one more second. My dear friend over here, you could help me next. Happy Gas with a harness on top of it. So me, player number A right now, put the harness on the gas. Then after that, as you can see right here, my guy, he could actually go ahead and jump up on the Happy Gas. Even though Vital, he definitely did not put the harness on the gas first. Now, pretty cool thing here. Once I have a player sitting on the Happy Gas, I can jump on top of the Happy Gas as well. And if that player isn't actually controlling it or doing anything, it will align to the grid. Well, we've got a player standing on the Happy Gas, so the pilot of the gas, I'm trying to like fly it over there, and no, it won't move. If I wanted to join my friend on the Happy Gas, if I interact with it to get onto him, well then every single time in a clockwise position, so this is noon, right here is 3 o'clock, I'll always be put at the 3 o'clock position. After that would come 6 and then 9. Okay, now for real, this time we're done with the Happy Gas, but can we just get some love at how nice this thing actually looks? Like, it looks so sick. I love their texture work on this thing. Now, in the initial snapshot video, the locator bar, it got a pretty hunky spot of the showcase as well. There's actually a little bit more to the locator bar and all of the waypoint command stuff, and it has some pretty big implications here. Check this out. If my friend over here hits shift, well then all of a sudden they are completely removed from the locator bar. They're gone. The weird thing with the locator bar, well, in spectator mode, like that's me right now flying around, I get the locator bar to pop up still, and I can kind of see everyone. It's kind of cool. The whole up-down mechanic, foolishly, I showed it off really far away and only far away. When I look down right there, you can see that white arrow that pops up. When I look up, you can see the white arrow that points down. Also, if you remember from that initial snapshot video, this is completely different recording session, but the color has been preserved. The coloration that a player is assigned when they join the game for the locator bar, it should always be the same. And then map maps. I wanted to see how the map would look with a locator bar. Oh, it's blurry. What? I feel like I need my glasses. Oh my god, this is tormenting me. The maps definitely look better on Bedrock though. Wait, now that you have a map? No? Okay, never mind. Locator bar, interesting little thing right here. Any waypoint that is determined to be a player or a mob that belongs to a team, then the color indicator will match the team. So maybe I have some kind of thing going on in my realm, and for that thing, I have yellow team, and on yellow team, we have like 5 different players. Well, I believe all players could show up on my locator bar as yellow. And same with mobs, too. So the waypoint stuff, this is the really insane thing, and I need to mess with a little bit more technicalities, but this thing is insane. So the waypoint mechanic, this is the framework in which the locator bar is existing here, but we could do so much more with this locator bar and the waypoints. Taking a look at all of these different parameters that we can add to a waypoint in order to actually be able to customize them, and a little bit of examples with the waypoint command as well, how everything would look. Well, basically right here, with the waypoint, if I waypoint modify, waddle, and then say maybe color, I could actually just sort of change the color of that waypoint modifier. Look, this stuff, it's actually insane and could potentially change everything. The fact that you could put mobs on this locator bar thanks to the whole waypoint command and everything like that. Well, I mean, look, the first thing that comes to my mind is, let's say your petted dog, oh, sweet guy, maybe you use a new item or even just a compass on that mob, and then all of a sudden, it could pop up on the locator bar, and you'd be able to actually, like, find your pet across the entire world. Maybe you could even use the same mechanic with just a compass, use it on the happy ghast so you don't lose it, or even just literally a random mob inside of your world. It doesn't matter at all. I feel like this is a great new mechanic potentially for the compass, but also I guess they could always add a special new item that you need to find too. In fact, this waypoint stuff is actually so powerful that I guess you could actually use this system to even do something crazy, like tracking death points. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to not look too far into this one, but the grave item from the craft mine update. The fact that the devs have gone on record and said they want to change how death works in Minecraft. Maybe this locator bar is the way to do it. Back over in Studio W7, not only do we have a brand new addition to the wall, the happy ghast way up there, but we actually had a change I completely forgot to talk about in the snapshot video. The blaze spawn egg and the breeze spawn egg. I had noted this stuff down to talk about it, and well, in the pure rush of adrenaline that was the happy ghast, I forgot about it. So these mobs are not really large mobs like, say, the Creaking or the Ender Dragon, which means the spawn eggs shouldn't have been large spawn eggs. Well, these spawn eggs, they are now the medium spawn egg size instead of that large chunky one. Brand new snapshot era, we make brand new tradition. We've got a new snapshot flats, and oh my god, it feels so good. We've got a big change to the location of sounds within the entity folder. The glow squid, the puffer fish. I don't want to put this evil demonic being in the water, the guardian. The rabbit and the horse. The location of these mob sounds has been changed. Now, initially, when I took a look at this one, I thought, wait a second, water mob update, what's going on? But instead, I guess this is just really a relocation of where files are placed. Instead of being placed in the entity folder, they're in the mob folder where they should be. But speaking of sounds, in the Spring to Life drop, famously, we know the warm biome's got a bunch of brand new beautiful ambiance. For this next part here, I want you to listen. Yeah, do you hear what's not happening? There isn't very much sand ambiance going on at all right here, and I mean the requirement for this stuff to actually be able to kick off and play, I've more than met it. I have way more than enough sand. Moving over to this block of terracotta over here, again, listen. Yeah, I'm not going to waste your time that much. The sounds, it's not that they don't play, it's that they play way less frequently now, at least in these two settings. One more time, please. Listen this time, because... oh, wow. Immediately over here. Huge difference. Listening more? Yeah, the dead bush, when placed on terracotta, is going to play these windy desert sounds way more than it would have before. Also, if you listen to this windy sound, this was a type of sound that you kind of would have previously heard from the sand block. Well, the sand block will no longer play the wind sound. On top of that, while we're talking about the sand block, in order to play ambient sounds, no longer needs sky access. It could be buried under the ground and make a sound. Huh. Sandy cave biome. When? Again, one more time. Listen. So the fact that this is red sand does not matter at all. It's all about the dry grass that is in here. Both the tall and short dry grass. The dry plants will now be the plants that control the wind sound when they are placed above 2 sand, 2 red sand, or 2 terracotta. That's actually such a large change, and I think it's kind of nice. This links the wind sound to the plant instead of just sand. So over at your base, maybe you don't need to just hear a bunch of sand, only because you built a desert back at home. Also, the dead bush is going to play its ambient sounds a little bit more, which means the cricket. Oh my god, I can actually hear it this time. It's faintly there, still way too quiet. But there's a cricket. I can actually hear it. Now for this one, I want to send a little nod to Harry over on Twitter, the Minecraft Wiki. So Harry's been talking about this, and then I went over to the Badlands biome and did a little bit of investigation myself, and sure enough, it checks out. If you slide into the Badlands biome inside of the Spring to Life drop, mobs are meant to be spawning here like farm animals. However, they do not. Sure, you'll be able to find a bunch of dry, crunchy leaves on the ground, fallen trees from time to time, but any of those new mob variants, you know, the things that they put so much emphasis on during the development of the update, but also in the trailer, well, they will not naturally spawn here, ever. I swear at one point during the snapshot cycle, they did actually spawn here and it kind of worked, but yeah, somewhere along the line, leading up to the release of this update, it completely broke and it's still broken. That's what's up with that, and maybe we could bring a little bit of attention to the issue. The devs circle back around, drop the vulture into this biome as an apology, and fix the spawn. Now, friends, look, sometimes, like this little spider over here, bugs are bugs. Other times, bugs are not just bugs. There were many cases of example, even in just the last update cycle, of bugs happening in prior snapshots, and then a couple of weeks later, things changing with whatever that bug was relating to. This week, we'll take a seat because potions. I didn't even realize it in the snapshot video somehow. Like I had splashed a player with invisibility potion and it wait a second, in the video, was it just yellow? But inside of this week's snapshot, potions. The potion, every single coloration of this thing was accidentally reset, and they all match the water texture. Huh, weird. Please keep in mind that somewhere previously down the line, around the time when they made all of these spawn egg changes, they also individualized potion textures. Basically, this means that theoretically, you could have different textures in vanilla Minecraft for every single potion, instead of just having them all have a different glinting color. Hey, wait a second. I've got just the thing. Individualized potion textures, thanks to Shrimp's potion texture pack. Oh my gosh, this is kind of what we're looking at. You might have seen this on the thumbnail. It's just like the best way to visualize things. I'll go ahead and link this down to the description for you if you're curious for it, because oh my god, it's beautiful. And imagine how much easier it would be to figure out what potion is what with textures that look like this. But back to individualized potion, the mechanic that they implemented to allow individualized textures. They added it in the Spring to Life drop, but they didn't really use it in that update. Another thing that has been completely messed up inside of the snapshot is potion effects on arrows as well, tipped arrows. Famously, an item that other than the cool spectral one, just copy and paste one texture and changes the color a bunch of times. And it's not just the glint being missing here, because if I look up enchanted books, I have every single enchantment book having the same old traditional old glint going on. And this happens in survival too. If I were to pick up an arrow and put it inside of my inventory, weirdly enough, it's just blank. But when I drop it on the ground, it's fine. The fact that they made it possible to have unique textures for potions in the last update and didn't use it, and now we have this bug. I mean, it's weird, to say the least. Now, another weird little thing inside of the snapshot, it actually has to do with enchantments. But stay calm, stay calm. I don't think it's an enchantment update. So in order to execute this one and check it out, it's very strange. All we're gonna need to do is enchant a diamond sword with literally anything. Yes, the ever sought after Swift Sneak sword that gives me plus 15 sneaking speed when it's on my legs. Now, next up, all I need to do here to pull this one off is rock the sword inside of my inventory, and while it is inside of my inventory, obtain, hey, wait a second. Another diamond sword. Now, if we take a close look at both of these diamond swords, the one on the right here is fully enchanted. They both look fully enchanted. Lacking the context of any substantial enchantment adjustments in the last update, I don't think this is any sort of hint at a future update. This might just be some sort of weird bug. Potion thing is kind of similar, I guess, but like we just talked about, there's a whole lot of context in the last update with unused additions. Bam, commands. I want to wrap today up with a couple more brand new commands. One of them I don't want to run in my world because I don't need to do it, but it's data pack create. With the help of this command, I could go ahead and create a brand new data pack. Of course, you know it, the rest of these other data pack entries were previously here. We also have a brand new /version command. If I run that, wait a second, I don't even know if I can show you that. I don't know if it's like super secret technical information, but you get a bunch of info. Try it out in your world. Oh, you're still here? Bonus thing. Couple people wanted me to see if I could stand on the normal ghast now, like on the top of it. No, you cannot. That could be a cool little mechanic though, right? Happy Ghast Snapshot is pretty beautiful, but I can't wait to see what's next. Stay tuned for even more stuff coming soon. I'm constantly cooking. Tap that like button if you haven't yet. All of my links are down in the description. Drop a follow, maybe on my Instagram, and I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you very much. Goodbye.